सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ परम्परस्याः प्रकृतेरनादिम् एकं निविष्टं बहुधा गुहासु सर्वालयं सर्वचराचरस्थं त्वामेव विष्णुं शरणं प्रपद्ये। सर्वविकल्पहीनः शुद्धः बुद्धो जरामरः शान्तः अमलः सकृत् विभातश्चेतनः आत्मा खवद्व्यापी रसफणितशर्करिका गुलकण्डा विकृतयो यथैवेक्षोः तद्वदवस्थाभेदाः परमात्मन्येव बहुरूपाः विज्ञानन्तर्यामि प्राणविराट् देहजातिपिण्डान्ताः व्यवहारास्तस्यात्मन्येते अवस्था विशेषा स्युः. So we saw in the last class how we should know this Atma. What is the real Swarupa of this Atma? Here you can see that is there in this verse. Sarva Vikalpa Hina Shuddhaha Buddhaha Ajaramaraha Shantaha Amalaha Sakrit Vibhataha Chetanaha Atma. So all these words are used to reveal the true nature of Atma. So Atma, Chetanaha Atma, we can take it like that, because everybody understands oneself as a conscious being. Okay. But the problem is what? You think that you are a conscious being limited to a particular body, mind, sense complex. That is samsaritva. Because as soon as limitation is there, you are wanting. As soon as you are wanting, then you want to fulfill the wants, there will be desires, then you have to do something about it. Like this, the entire samsaritvam keeps on propagating. But how do you know yourself really? You are the Paramatma. Here Atma is actually Paramatma. You are a conscious being, but you think you are an individual conscious being, but really you are the Paramatma. Khadvyad Vyapi Atma means you are like the space which is all pervasive, correct? So that kind of all pervasive consciousness, which is Paramatma, you are really speaking. And what are the other lakshanas of this Paramatma? Sarva Vikalpahinaha means you are a partless whole. There are no vikalpas. There are no divisions, distinction in you. Then you are Shuddhaha. You are not like a physical body which is dirty, correct? And it's also having dirt inside, outside, everywhere dirt is there in the body. But it is Shuddhaha, it is taintless. In fact, it can never be tainted. That kind of a Shuddhaha is Atma. Means if you say you are not the physical body, are you the prana? Means no. Buddhaha. Prana is not having the capability to know. But you are an aware person, conscious person. Means are you the mind? Means no. You are Ajara Maraha. Mind is again there during waking and dreaming, but it resolves in sleep. Again it comes back. Like this, you are not the mind. Are you the buddhi? Means no. Shantaha. In the buddhi, all the time some thought flow is happening. But really speaking, Atma is Shantaha. Shanta Swarupaha. In fact, into which everything resolves. That is the Atma. Correct? Into which everything resolves. Because Shantaha comes from the root Shamu. Upashante means to cease or stop or resolve. And in fact, Atma is the one into which everything resolves. Samadhiyate asmin iti samadhihi. Also the Bhashyakara gives meaning in the Bhashya. into which everything resolves. That is the Atma, which is Samadhi or Shantaha. Then finally what? Is it then the Avyakta, the unmanifest, or the Samvriti? The Buddhist called Samvriti because below the Samvriti only the Shunya is there. Means it is not that also. It is Amalaha. It is not, it doesn't have any association with even Avidya or Avyakta or Samvriti, all these things. Therefore, it is only the conscious being. That's why it is Sakrit Vibhati. Also, Sakrit Vibhati means it is, see, Sakrit means generally in Sanskritam it means once. Here we have to take it as once and for all or always. Sakrit can also come in that meaning. Okay. So it is always shining. It is of the very nature of consciousness. Swaprakasha. Why we have to say this is the Nayayikas say that this Chaitanyam or Chetana also is a guna of Atma and all that. So this Chetanatvam is not a guna. It is the very Swarupa of Atma. It is Sakrit Vibhataha. Chetanaha Atma Khadvyat Vyapi. So in this manner, one has to know oneself. So after this also you may have a doubt. How then do we have all these differences in this world? There are sentient entities, insentient entities, but you are talking about only one Atma, it is Sarva Vikalpa Hinaha and all that. Now that is answered in the next two verses by giving an analogy again. Okay, here the analogy is of the sugarcane juice. Okay, because sugarcane juice everybody likes. In fact, we all like sugarcane juice, and it has many forms also. Correct. In fact, when we were in Coimbatore Gurukulam, there were some sugarcane farms nearby Coimbatore. So when they do the harvest, and sometimes they will make the jaggery themselves. They will put a shed and they will take the juice, make the juice, and start heating it up in a big vessel and all that. So at that time we used to go there. In fact, it used to be like a festival. In fact, because at that time you can drink as much sugarcane juice you want, or even that whatever when they are making the jaggery, even that hot juice used to be very good. In fact, to have. Anyway, so here he is saying rasa phanita sharkarika gulakhanda. So there are many things are there. Rasa is juice. Phanita means the molasses. Sharkarika is whatever the powdered sugar. Okay. Guda or gula is the jaggery. And khanda can be taken as candy, I think, or whatever, a piece of sweet meat. Okay. So like this, all these things are what? Vikritayaha. They are all modifications of Yataiva Ikshoho. Ikshoho Vikritayaha. Okay, these are all the modifications of one sugar cane alone. Okay, like even like that, Yatha Tadvat. Similarly, what? Avastha Bhedaha. There are different states of this Paramatma. There is only one Paramatma, but it appears. But again, here the Vikriti also is not real. Okay, in the Drishtanta, the modification is a real modification, which is fine. Okay, even the Shruti also gives correct Vacharammanam Vikaro Namadheyam Vritika Ityeva Satyam. So there in the Chandogya Shruti also, three analogies are given. One is the clay and pot. Another is gold and jewelry. And another is iron and nail cutter. Okay, even in the Upanishad times, our civilization had nail cutters and all that. So we were so cultured. Okay, or we had the technology to make nail cutters out of iron. That much technology we had. Anyway, so here this example is given of sugarcane, but the modification is not real. Paramatmani, all these avasthas are there, but the avasthas are all adhyastha. They are all only superimposed. In fact, that is why we say it is not parinami. basically. Vikriti means the Vikriti or modification can be a real modification or a parinama. But here it is Vivarta, means it remains as it is. But still the world appears in different states. Bahurupaha, avastha bedaha. What are these avastha bedaha, bahurupaha? Many different forms of this Paramatma. Means this entire world we have to account for, correct? Where we have sentient and insentient beings. So that is what here it is said. Vijnanantaryami prana virat deha jati pindantaha. So in the first line only, all these avasthas are the different manifestations of Bhagavan, Ishvara, Paramatma, whatever word you use. It is all said here, Vijnana. So starting from Vijnana, so Vijnana is the Chaitanyam, Shuddha Chaitanya, which is the Swarupa, correct? Brahma Swarupa. Then it becomes Antaryami. It is the inner controller or ruler of everybody. Okay, in whose rule only everything is happening here. Okay, under whose laws everybody is operating. That is the Antaryami. Ante Tishtan Yamayati. It is there within each and every individual conscious being, and then in its presence only everything is happening. That is the Antaryami. Then Prana. Prana here is the Jiva, basically the Sukshma Sharira Avachinna Chaitanyam. The word Prana is used. The Jiva is the individual conscious being. Antaryami is the one who is there in all the pranis or beings. And then, so up to this, it is they call it the Chaitanya Koti and all that. Okay, so Vijnana only becomes Antaryami and also the Jiva. Then what about the insentient world? Means Virat. Virat is the physical totality. Okay. So once we say Virat, then all this already we saw, correct? There is the Srishti Kama was talked about from the Prakriti, and then you have the Avyakta, Mahat, Ahankara, then the Mahabhutas, then the Mahabhutas themselves, there is something called Panchikaranam. They mix with each other. Okay, because initially it is called Tanmatra, means they are in their pure form. Okay, but then once they mix up with the others, then only the gross, the subtle form manifests as gross physical world by Panchikarana. Means in the Panchikarana process, 50% of one Mahabhuta and 1/8 of the others, okay, or 12.5% of the other four, they mix with each other, and then that becomes the like 50% Akasha, 12.5% of Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi make up the physical Akasha, they say, like this. That is the Panchikarana process. So Panchikaranam only makes the subtle into the gross, into the physical. Why it is important? See, our creation model is all encompassing. Okay, it doesn't just deal with physical world or only matter. It accounts for prana and also the mind. All these things are also part of creation. So in that, you can understand the Triguna also comes into the picture. So here again the Panchikarana is only the tamas aspect of the five Mahabhutas. They only undergo the Panchikarana and become the gross world. Then the Rajas aspect of all the five put together is the prana itself, the Mahaprana, whatever prana which is active in your body, which is like the Pancha Prana, correct? It also acts as the five different pranas. That is the Rajas aspect of all the Mahabhutas. Then the Rajas aspect of each Mahabhutas become the Pancha Karmendriya. then the sattva aspect of each Mahabhuta becomes one Jnanendriya, and all of them put together becomes the mind. Okay, the sattva aspect of the Mahabhutas. That's why one of the synonyms of mind is sattva. The word sattva itself is used to denote the antakarana or the mind, because it is from the sattva aspect of the Mahabhutas. So like this, we have a creation model. Now, in this, the totality of the all this non-aware or insentient is the Virat. And in that also again what? Deha jati pindantaha. But there are there are many different bodies starting from Devas onwards, correct? Because the experiences you undergo require two things. One is your own Deha, and then the world also has to be there. Okay, again, that means what? Different lokas are there where you can have different experiences. The external world are the lokas. And then in that loka also you should have appropriate bodies to undergo particular experiences. So those bodies again are different, correct? The Deva Sharira is different, Manusha Sharira is different. So Manushyatvam is there. That is all Jati. Jati means Devatvam, Manushyatvam, Pakshitvam, Pashutvam, all these things. You can be an animal body has its own limitations in terms of what experiences you can have. Or a bird body has its own experience. In fact, what you can experience in the bird's body, you can't experience in the human body, correct? Bird can fly. I don't know what all experience it has, but its experience we can't, maybe we can imagine, but really we don't know that, correct? And there are experiences even up to insects and all that. So there are so many different bodies. This pindantaha means up to the individual physical bodies belonging to different species, you can say. Those are the jati here. So like this, one Paramatma alone is appearing as this entire world. Okay, in fact, that is our vision, correct? That is the Vedic vision, from which everything comes, by which everything is sustained, into which everything resolves back. Yato va imani bhutani jayante ye na jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisamvishanti. So like that, yato va imani bhutani jayante, from which all these beings are born. Yena jatani jivanti, whatever is born lives or sustains. Okay, by whom? By which? And yet prayanti abhishamvisanti means into which everybody is moving towards that only again. Everything resolves into that. So that reality is only one, which is the Paramatma, and all these things are all only the manifestation of that Paramatma. And also, okay, once you have these sentient beings and you give them different bodies and different lokas to experience what, then all the activities are there, correct? Again, they are only expending their karma, but in the process they are also gaining new karma. All that is happening. That is the vyavaharas tasya. Okay, vyavaharaha tasya atmanni yete avastha vishesha. So in the Atma only all these vyavaharas are happening, all these beings, and these are all the avastha visheshaha syuhu of the Atma. Whatever in the previous verse it was said, correct? Avastha bhedaha. There is only one Paramatma which is appearing as both the sentient and the insentient. Okay, here you can have a doubt. How can this consciousness appear as insentient? Means there are many examples given. Even in the Mundaka Upanishad, it is the growth of nail and hair and all is referred. Means you are, at least you take your body as a conscious entity, but from that insentient things are also growing, correct? like the hair and the nails, etc. The other way also you can have a doubt. How can all this sentient and insentient be there? Means even in dream, everything is there, correct? Dream also is another analogy where we can understand that. Or even there is a spider. From the spider only, from itself it is producing its own yarn and it can take it back also. Okay. Like this, different analogies we can give here. So from one conscious entity, both sentient and insentient can be there, or even in the insentient, sentient can be seen. Okay, that is there in the next verse here. We'll see another analogy is again given. Again, this analogy is given also to point out that there is no real modification. I already told you, correct? Because when the ikshu, the sugarcane example was given, the vikara or the modification of the sugarcane is real, correct? Like I told you. Once the sugarcane becomes juice, it is no more sugarcane as we see it, correct? As the plant. And once you heat up the juice and make jaggery or something else, again it is different. But Atma is not like that. Atma remains Atma. In fact, no change is there really in the Atma. Okay, to again explain that, one more analogy of the rope snake is given here. So that we'll see. Rajvam nasti bhujangaha sarpa bhayam bhavati hetuna kena tadvadvaita vikalpa bhrantihi avidyana satyamidam. So Rajvam nasti bhujangaha. There is no snake or snakeness in the rope, correct? What is there is really rope. But then what? You go in the evening and sun is setting or sun has already set, but still there is a light which is not very bright, but there is enough light for you to see that something is there. But you are not able to know that it is rope. That is the situation. Then what? Once something like that is there, that is good enough. Then your own samskaras kick in. You see a snake there, or somebody is seeing a garland. That is also possible because somebody likes to be garlanded and all that, let us say. So he thinks that somebody has thrown a garland on the ground. But somebody is afraid of snake means he is seeing snake everywhere. Okay. So you can see a snake, bhujangaha. But really there is no bhujanga in the rope, correct? Rajvam nasti bhujangaha. But even though it is not there, you see it. But the Rajju has not really become bhujanga, correct? That is the point you have to understand here. This is also an example of vivarta. That's what we say. This is how Ishvara only appears as the world. It is all only maya. There is no real change in the Ishvara. Ishvara remains as Ishvara. That's why that Purna Madaha mantram we say, correct? At the end of every class also we chant, correct? Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. So this verse, what is it saying? Purnam Adaha means that is Purna, that is whole. Okay, in fact, one Englishman, our Guruji, Swamiji, Puja Swami Dayanandji used to tell this story. I don't know whether it is real or not, but maybe. So in the 18th century, some Englishman came to some Pandit. So you start the class with this mantra, correct? So then he asked for the meaning. Then the meaning is like this, correct? That is whole. Purna Madaha. This is whole. Purna Midam. Okay. Purnat Purna Mudachyate. From that whole, this whole has come. Purnasya Purnamadaya. From this whole, if you remove that whole, or from that whole, if you remove this whole, what remains also is whole. Okay. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Then that Englishman is supposed to have commented, what is this? prattling of a childish mind or something like that, he said, it seems. It may be even true, I don't know. But he used to say this. Because if you just, that is the problem of reading Vedanta in English, understand that. Even many scholarly translations are not very intelligent or intelligible for us. That's why you have to study it from a guru properly. So Purna Madaha means what? Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma. Sadvastu is already whole, correct? Already it is Purna. It is Ananta. It doesn't lack anything. It is one partless whole. But from that only this world has come, which is again, this means already it is available as this. I and this difference has come. Subject object division. The objective world with all its variegated things has come. But just because this world has come, that Sadvastu has not changed or it has not lost its nature. Understand that it remains the same. Like even the rope remains the rope, even when the snake is cognized. Correct? That is what we have to understand. Okay, what if you remove the snake from the rope? Means rope remains as rope only. Correct? Even when the snake is cognized also, there is rope only. Correct? That's why we say Purnam Idam. Even though Idam is there, Idam is really Purnam only. Even though you cognize the objective world, there is a subject-object division and there are whatever infinite, countless divisions and distinctions within the world. What is there is only one Purna, really speaking, correct? Even while you are cognizing it, it is only one Sadvastu alone is there, Brahman alone is there. And what if you remove this entire world, if you resolve it? What if the snake cognition goes also? It is the same thing, correct? Purnameva avashishyate. So that one Shanti mantra actually teaches you the entire Vedanta. You don't require anything more than that, really speaking. So that is your reality. So like this, Rajvam Nasi Bhujangaha. But then what? See, one more thing is there. If the world is unreal, then why am I suffering? This question can be there. In fact, you don't require real things to suffer, correct? In fact, most people are suffering because of hallucinations and things like that. Whatever they imagine is more powerful than the reality. In fact, for most people, most of the things are happening in the mind only. It may nothing real is there outside. You think that somebody has some motive, they are acting in some way, they are always against you and all that. The other person may not even be thinking of you. This is what we call Jiva Srishti. See, there is Ishvara Srishti, objective world is there. In fact, the objective world you can deal with. Of course, always it is not pleasant, but both pleasant and unpleasant are there in the objective world. You deal with it. And again, pleasant, unpleasant experience come to you based on your own karma. And you can deal with it. But where is the problem? Jiva Srishti is the problem. Because you are not able to accept certain things. And you imagine that everybody is against you. They are plotting against you. They are doing this, that. So that imagination is fueling more problems within you. So there need not be something real to trouble you, correct? That's why, see, even the imaginary snake creates fright in you. You are ready to run away from there. Correct? Sarpa bhayam bhavati. Ketuna kena. What is the reason? This sarpa bhaya is there. Kena hetuna sarpa bhayam bhavati means if you see the unreal also, but you see it, that is the main thing. Correct? It appears and you see it as real. If you see the unreal as real, it is good enough. You can have bhayam. In fact, we give many examples also for this. See, one is bhaya. Always everything is not bhaya in the world, correct? So another example we give is of the shell silver. So shell silver example is given for what? You see, silver means it is very valuable. So there is a pravritti. Sarpa bhaya means nivritti is there, correct? You want to run away from there. But shell silver means you are going towards it. Aha. Or sometimes even some flickering lamp or light, you can mistake it for some jewel. at night, and you go towards it thinking that it is some jewel or diamond or whatever that you will take. But you go near and you find out that it is only shell, or it is only some, or it is even that mini poochi and all we say, correct? It can be even some insect which is luminous at night. So like that, there can be both pravritti and nivritti due to wrong cognition, erroneous cognition. It need not be real. So like this, similarly what tadvat dvaita vikalpa bhranti. So like even the Rajju Sarpa or Shuktika Rajatam, we say, correct? Shell silver is called Shukti Rajata. Like that, all this entire Dvaita Vikalpa, the diversity which is there, it is all only Bhranti, it is all only an appearance, erroneous cognition. It is all avidya, it is all due to avidya. Why do you see this mean? You don't know yourself. That is good enough, correct? Again, you don't know yourself completely, nobody can say. If you ask anybody, are you there? Means they say, I am there. Means that much self-awareness is there. In fact, that is important. You should have self-awareness, but you should not have complete self-awareness. Like even you should see something out there, correct? Something is there, but you don't see it as rope. Like that, with reference to oneself also, there is self-awareness about oneself. Everybody has self-awareness. In fact, one takes oneself for granted. That is the biggest problem, correct? See, you are born. At that time, you don't have big self-awareness also, or even some level basic self-awareness is there for the child, for an infant. And also the infant's organs are all still developing. So even the sense organ, how much stimuli they pick up an external world, the interaction and all, it can only do very limited manner. Then at some point the ego is there. I as a separate entity, individual. In fact, initially the baby only understands I. It doesn't understand others are there or they have their own needs and all that. That's why babies can throw tantrums, correct? Because for them only they, whatever they need are their needs are only important. Nothing else matters. And then they pick up knowledge about the external world. And later on, when you go to school, you are only studying about the external world. It's all only objective knowledge, whatever you gain in school, college. But about yourself, an identity has been foisted. Because as soon as some level of intellect or the ability to cognize develops, immediately what do we say? We introduce the child to this is father, this is mother, correct? And you are the son or daughter of so and so. All these identities are given to the child. And then afterwards, you never inquire into that. You just swallow your own self identity is foisted on you and you take it for granted. All other knowledge you are gaining throughout your life is only objective knowledge. Okay. Then at some point in time, if you have enough punya, then only you come to Vedanta. Only when you do Vedanta vichara, Atma vichara is done, correct? And if you do the Atma vichara, it is very simple. We start with a very simple principle. First we do Atma Anatma vichara, one has to do. Whatever I know is not I. That is the only vichara you have to do in Vedanta to start with. You do that properly. Whatever I know is not I, because it is a object of my cognition, correct? It cannot be me or I. In that, there is no confusion up to the clothes and all that, correct? Spectacles, clothes and all, there is no confusion. This is not me. This is not me. But from the skin onwards, the confusion starts. So body you take it as I, even though it is an object of your knowledge. Physiological processes like hunger, thirst and all, you take it as I, it is for you, correct? Really, I am hungry, you say. In reality, it is prana acting and you know whatever is happening in your body. All thoughts, emotions, etc. also becomes evident to you only. But you identify with that and say, I am suffering, etc. Aham sukhi, dukhi. I am knowledgeable, you say. I am ignorant. But again, ignorance and knowledge also becomes evident to you, correct? I am blind, I am deaf and all you say, but even whether your eyes are seeing or not, your ears are hearing or not also is known to you. You are that Chaitanyam or conscious entity to which everything becomes evident. That is your reality. So you have to arrive at this first. And again, the Shastra comes and adds one more thing, that there is no other conscious entity. You are Ekameva Advitiyam, you are Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That is the Shastra Pramana. So, all this diversity and limitations, seeing yourself as a wanting being, all these things are only Bhranti. It is all due to Avidya, it is not real, na Satyamidam. In fact, your problems are not real. So be happy, correct? If it is a real problem, you cannot solve it. If your problems, if samsara is real, then there is no chance of any moksha. If your limitations are real, you can never become the limitless. Understand, correct? There is no becoming the limitless. Limitless can never be created. It can neither be created, it can neither be arrived at by modifying something, it can neither be arrived at by purifying or cleaning something, or it can neither be arrived at by reaching somewhere. Understand that. And karma has only these four types of results. So it cannot be created as a karma phala. Anything you create as a karma phala is only limited because karma itself is limited. But you really want limitless. How do you know? Means you go to the road and ask anybody, what do you want? Means everybody says, I want to be happy. Now, when do you want to be happy? Means I want to be all the time happy. Where do you want to be happy? I want to be happy everywhere. There is no limitation there, correct? That you can be happy only in your house. You cannot be happy outside, or you cannot be happy in the office. No, I want to be happy everywhere all the time. Means you are really seeking unqualified happiness. Means that itself is limitless. You are seeking happiness which is not limited by anything. So limitless is what everybody is seeking instinctively, but they are not really doing anything about it. Until you get a certain vairagya, you have gone through life's experiences and found out that whatever you may achieve in this world, it is not satisfying you. So you have a problem of self non-acceptance. Once you understand this fundamental problem, and then you also have to understand there is no solution for that in worldly pursuits, then you automatically get vairagya. Vairagya means you don't have to hate anything. Understand that. It is not that you do like this and turn away and all that. You have to be objective towards what the worldly pursuits can give and what it cannot give. You should know the limitations of everything. Then you come to Vedanta. Then only you start analyzing yourself. Correct? And then you find out that you are this limitless conscious entity. You are the only reality. In fact, everything else is all Bhranti. Okay. Okay, the next verse we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ధన్యవాదాలు గురుజీ. గురుజీ